Hello, hello. All right. We are live for another. We're going to do a portfolio review this time. So let's go ahead and load things up. So I am going to be dropping the Wednesday live streams, and my goal is to start pushing out more podcast episodes because we've been doing them weekly for now. So probably for the next 2 months. I think I want to make like Friday my live streaming day, and I want to live stream potentially over the next few weeks on multiple platforms. I'm going to try some stuff. But as far as YouTube goes, we'll keep the Friday live streams at 1:30, and we're going to be pushing out more podcast episodes. Looking forward to it. Hey, Chris. I'm doing well. How about you? Let's see. Let's bring this over. Definitely a synthwave stream. Hold on. All right, let's pull it up. There we go. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Hey, Cheddar, welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and pull up the portfolios. All right. Let me go ahead. Hold on, make sure everything's good. What? You provide your GitHub link? No, a live project. A live project. Let's see. We'll try this one. We will try this one. Let's see. Let's scan it. Give me 1 second. That's good. Just gotta do my initial checks. Okay. Looks like this is a project, not a portfolio. We could definitely review it. Okay. Sure. We'll review it. Seisman, hello. Mr. Psycho Monkey, hello, welcome. All right, you guys ready? Let's bring this first one over. This one's gonna be a project. The hell is this? It's weird. It's weird seeing the ages, the range, with the top number on the top with a dash and the bottom number for the end of the range. Bring this down. Don't let this stack. Definitely makes it unreadable. Not unreadable, but it makes it harder to understand. What the hell is this? MDL. SPT. How am I supposed to know any of this? If people just like land on this project, they're just gonna think, what the hell is this? I mean, we can look at your GitHub, but you shouldn't have people depending on your GitHub to understand the project. Because I think you did include it. I mean, sometimes you're going to get a tool that the link is delivered in a way where people already have that context, but this isn't something that's really searchable. There's no context around what the hell this is. And an employer going to this website or anyone checking it out, they're going to need that extra context that you might even consider a landing page for it. Honestly, that jumps into the tooling. That's what I would do. Hey, Nickel. Welcome back. Oh my God. No screen sharing. Damn it. There we go. Can you see? All right, we will start the review from here. Again, I don't know what this is. Without getting more context, so we're going to get more context. With the ranges, this shouldn't be stacked. Make this horizontal. Makes it a little less readable. MDL, like this is a specific tool for a specific purpose. I have no idea what this is. So without extra context, people shouldn't have to scroll down to your FAQs or anything like that to understand what this is. I think a lot of people have a misconception that they could provide a project with a direct link to a tool and think that's enough. I highly recommend even just like a little context at the top of what this is, or even a landing page that'll lead into this tool, especially if you're going to be handing it over to employers or anyone that's going to check it out to like judge it. Because I noticed that I think you're joining a coding bootcamp or something like that. So I feel like tools like this without context, with the lack of context just hurts you. You need to provide that in some way. And I don't think providing that in your GitHub is enough. And so that's kind of just my gut feeling, but we'll go ahead and dive into it. Calculator to calculate your Army ACFT, scores for your upcoming diagnostic record test. Live link. So it's going to be a very specific tool. Grading standards were released, time crunch, process to create the API. I mean, this is all good stuff for your README. What are your scale steps? Random. Is there a light mode? Or FAQs. I mean, it's a pretty well laid out README. No installation. You're going to want to include your installation instructions in your README specifically. So I guess now that we have that context, might be helpful to have like a little, see, this is the problem. I'm not your typical user. I'm not really going to understand this app specifically. So when I see red and green, what makes it red? What makes it green? So even like a little info button potentially that has the standard range that you want to aim for, which is what I'm assuming creates the restrictions for that range. I don't have a lot of context on this tool. I just don't. Like, what am I supposed to get out of this? Twitter? That's your Twitter? Oh, that shouldn't be a direct link. That should be a new tab. Same for your email. I'm assuming the email. Well, anyways, yeah. This should open up in a new tab. I'm assuming this doesn't open up in a new tab. Blog post. Okay, so you do have a blog here. Ready? Give your call to action. That's pretty good. I just don't think there's any initial context. You might even include a landing page with the blog post and the tools. You could deliver this in a way that, I don't know, what happens when you have new recruits that have no idea how this can help them? Do these tools not exist? I feel like I'm just not your typical user. I have no idea. I have so many questions and this delivers nothing to me. That's my initial impressions with it. Yeah. What do you guys think? Yeah, sorry. Sorry about the lack of screen sharing. Hey, Crafted. Welcome back. Let's check out mobile. We'll be more generous. Okay. I'm not sure it's immediately apparent that you can scroll, but people might, once they see it clipped off. The thing is, if the size is just a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, so they only see 3 choices, they're only going to assume that there are 3 choices. So some sort of indicator to show that you can scroll before you actually try to scroll could be really helpful. Buttons are pretty big enough. They're big enough. Text is a little small. Hard to read on mobile. I consider like 18 pixels, at least 16. Just make sure it's at least 16. Seems like it'd be a useful tool. There's a way to deliver, I don't know, kind of funnel people into realizing that this tool is going to help them. And maybe your content can help do that, but that content's kind of, I don't know, hidden away down here. You typically don't want people to have to search for context of your app right away. Unless this is like, sometimes you'll get like internal tools where this can be a direct link that context is already provided, but it just doesn't feel that way. Yeah, that's all I really have. I'm not your typical user with this. Is this a tool to help you pass the physical parts of joining the army? I think it's, is this within, like when you're already in the program? And I know, don't you have, reoccurring tests to just make sure that you're progressing physically? Like, yeah, is this like entry level or during? I don't know. Again, if you're not in the army, you don't really know this kind of stuff. It's a good question though. Wish the person who made the project was here to explain. Yeah, me too. Me too. But yeah, that's where a landing page and specific content to help provide that extra context can help. I think a lot of people, and this is actually a message for backend developers too. I see a lot of backend developers develop specific tools and not provide enough context. I would highly encourage backend developers to consider building a landing page for, even if it's a developer tool, even just to explain why it's useful and why people should care about it, right? Like a backend developer that can do that and clearly lay that out. I mean, it's a backend developer that can clearly show that they truly understand the user that would benefit from this product. And I do think a lot of backend developers neglect that side of things. And you could build a landing page with a site builder. I don't really care about that, but landing pages are really, really powerful. But yeah, none of us have context, so that's all I have. All right, let's go to the next project. All right. This person currently works as a professional developer. Just doing a quick scan. All right. I think we have our next one. Let's bring it over. Mriganka Bora. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. All right, let's dive in. I'm a full stack. Actually, I want to see that animation one more time. That's kind of cool. I like that. It still rotates slowly. I'm a full stack developer based in Assam, India. Digital craftsman, artist, developer, designer. Okay. Passion for building digital. Yo, what? Is there supposed to be something here? Work passion for building digital services, stuff he wants. Stuff? I would. So it's okay to personalize it, but you want to be very careful. Like, you want certain. You can show professionalism with also showing quirkiness, and I feel like digital services stuff kind of makes me feel like you don't know like what the hell you want to build, or it's too casual when you're trying to get a professional developer position. Like, what stuff? Like, what are you focusing on? Are you a designer? Are you a developer? Kind of seems like you're a little bit split between. He has a knack for all things. Why do people do this? He has a knack. Is that like a common thing in India? I have a knack. Like, don't talk about yourself in third person. Are you typically when you see he, or you have those third person pronouns describing you as an individual when it's your site, it's usually you're a bigger entity, you're a larger brand, and usually have a brand manager writing some of that. It's very, how do I want to say this? It's not personal. It kind of just feels distant, right? Like, when I see this picture and you see like, I have a passion for building digital services, etc. I have a knack for all things launching products, right? It feels more personalized, and it's like you talking to me. This just feels like you distance yourself. Like, you kind of have quirkiness here. This actually caught my attention. Oh, and you can move it around. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Okay. But then you start ruining it with this kind of wording. Get rid of the third person. That's a common thing to do on LinkedIn, talk in the third person. I can honestly say I don't even remember a profile where I saw that. I don't think that that's common. Who's delivering that practice? That's a horrible practice. I would argue sometimes I see this from people that I don't know if it's for specific countries, but it's just like a depersonalized experience. Don't do that. That's a horrible piece of advice. If anyone ever gave you that advice, don't listen to it. It's just weird. Yeah. How he refers to himself in third person makes it almost sound like he didn't build the app. It clearly says my portfolio, but says he. Oh, that's true. He starts mixing it up. Oh, that's a good... Yeah. I would just go first person. It just solves it. My portfolio... So, bio... Born? What? Why does an employer care when you were born? That should be none of their business anyways. I would think about the reason you put that. You can talk about the history of your education, of what you completed. That's fine. I wrote info as a React developer. Like, this is all good. It just feels like you're giving the company too much information. There's no reason to do that. I don't really, maybe in India ageism isn't a thing. I don't know. So I'm speaking from the United States. I have a feeling this is a bad idea, or this top one is a bad idea. I think it's a language thing. So I guess take what I have to say with a grain of salt. If you feel like in your area and your culture, this works, fine. But I would also be consistent with it, right? Wouldn't it be his portfolio or your name's portfolio? Yeah, if my advice like doesn't speak to where you live, then just ignore it. I'm just gonna go off of like, when I read something like this, I'm like, this is really weird and depersonalized, and who the hell am I even talking to you? Am I even learning about you, or did you have someone write this? I don't know. It just feels like you're dropping the ball. Art, music, drawing, playing PC games, photography. You have links to this? Okay, so drawing. Okay, you're opening up in new tabs. That's good. On the web. Got it. I mean, like socials maybe? Called as socials? On the web. Like, of course it's on the web. It's a link. Okay, so you have light mode. Drawing. Pretty simple. Why don't you just have your portfolio on the main page? Flat. Why is this misaligned? Oh, maybe it is aligned. It just, you can't really see that top gray. You could even space these out just a little bit more. Let them breathe. Flat colors. Clone website. A clone of websites? Like a clone? What? A clone of websites like flat UI colors and material UI colors. So you just built a clone of these websites? Typically, like if it's a clone, you shouldn't be putting it on the web. Like, unless you put like you're definitely your own spin to it, but like clone websites and stuff like that, you never put on your portfolio, ever. Like that's just lying and deceitful, or it's gonna come off like that. You should build those clone projects because I think they can help in your journey, but like publicly just creating something that you own as a project, it doesn't matter whether you call it a clone or not, it shouldn't be public. You're gonna get into copyright issues with that, potentially. Live, I'm assuming all of your links go to an external link if they don't map internally to your current domain. Platform, Android. Do you have a mobile app for it? Is it a React Native? I mean, none of this matters. Windows, Mac OS, like, it's just a website, right? That probably has responsive design. We can look at it. Oh, you go directly to the GitHub. Okay. Whew. All right, so you're mismatching some stuff. This should 100% be an external link, so I am going to open it up in a new tab purposefully, but it should automatically like have that blank target and open up a new tab if it's going to an external website. All right. A clone of websites, like one of projects for... Oh, it's a project based? Is it a clone? I'm confused. Like, what did you even get out of this? Like, what autonomy did you have? What did you grow from this? Did you learn from this? This feels like an extremely weak project. I have no idea if I should care about this whatsoever. I think it might be a literal translation problem, translating how he'd speak in his language to English. Maybe, but the rest of his English is pretty good though, isn't it? I mean, sure, you can, I guess, butcher the categories and like script the pronouns. I guess you could. Yeah, I wonder if that is the case. I don't think the Instagram link is necessary. I don't know. Why not? Put your Instagram. Hey, Nolan. Welcome back. How you doing? Why do you say that, Cheddar? Yeah, this just feels like you built a React project that's responsive. Like, did you actually build mobile apps? Like, none of this is relevant. You just built a website that's responsive, essentially. If I'm wrong, you should specify that, right? Is it React Native and you have mobile apps for this? But, like, of course a website can be accessed with any of these. I feel like you're just trying to fill out information to make it look better. This is already an extremely weak project because it's essentially what we finally found out to be a course project, which might be a clone. I don't know. I haven't went through that course, so. Spotify clone. Okay, a lot of clones. You gotta build your own stuff, dude. Definitely build your own stuff. You're lacking that. Platform, again, irrelevant. React Redux, live link. I love that you have the GitHub link, the website link, the languages. That's good. That's all really good. But these clones are very weak, low value projects. They just are close to irrelevant. So Again, there's nothing wrong with building clone projects or course-based projects, I'm telling you. And if you have nothing else, you put those on your portfolio, but they're just very, very low value projects. So it looks like you did finally build your application, and I would almost highlight this. This should be at the top, right? I would go in order your most important projects. So if this is like your own custom project, this is more relevant. With authentication feature where one can make visually aesthetic graphs figures after importing data from document. Okay. Mern, you don't have a GitHub link to this? Why not? Provide that. That's pretty relevant. I would have that's almost more interesting. Like the clone projects, I don't really care. It's a clone. I don't, you know, like the implementation you even choose for a clone. I guess that can be relevant, but yeah, provide a GitHub link to this. So here's where you're at right now. You're essentially just starting with your portfolio. You have one custom project, but I think you need to allow people to dig into that a bit more. This doesn't really give me a lot of information. I would be very curious. Like, I would jump right into this and figure out, okay, with your own project, how are you implementing things? What problem did you have to solve? And like, yeah, essentially, how are you implementing it? What structure and architecture did you use? I would be diving into that. Are you consistent throughout your code, etc.? I need to see that. I need to see those patterns. It'll give me a clear representation of what you can do. But I don't have that. Again, yep, this should be a new tab. Yeah. Okay, before we check out on mobile, so you're already currently a developer. Let's give a realistic situation before we check out mobile. You're already currently a developer. These clones, I don't even know why you're putting these on here. I honestly don't. Like, they're close to relevant when you're already a professional developer. I don't care about clones. I care about what projects you're interested in. Now that you are a professional software engineer, you know, sometimes you sign an NDA and you can't really talk about the projects, etc. And there's some things you might be able to talk about, and I would have that conversation with your manager when you put it on your portfolio. But yeah, you might need to just on the side start building out more projects. It can help. It depends on what the reason for your portfolio is. Are you trying to land a new position? Or so I think you'd really need to think about those goals. But my gut feeling, no matter what your goals are, maybe start building out more projects. Or I don't know what you want to do with this. I'm assuming you want to get a new position. Yeah, those are my thoughts. Raw and unfiltered. I'd keep more personal socials off and just have a professional ones like GitHub, LinkedIn, Dribbble, just my personal preference for a portfolio. So here's the thing with that. I think it's very powerful to personalize this experience. Like, he literally, like, he nailed it with this animation. This is such a goofy animation. It's adorable. Like, he nailed it. It gave some exposure to his personality, and boom, then he just goes third party and like very non-personal and kind of cold. But like, he could have doubled down on this and showed like his full personality. And I think, you know, things like Instagram, I don't know what, no. Yeah, I'm not logged in. But I don't know what he posts. I mean, like, if he posts things that he doesn't want employers to see, then yes. But I don't think it's going to hurt him for employers to have a personal link to get to know him better. I actually think that'll help you. If you don't post, like if you post a bunch of controversial stuff on your socials, I'd probably exclude him. But, you know, if it's just you, I don't know, you and your dog or what, I think that can actually help you, especially the fact that like this does kind of feel like part of his personality. It's okay. I would even encourage, portfolios shouldn't necessarily be professional too. Spotted a few typos for sure. By the way, how big of a deal are typos for a developer seeking for a job? They're a pretty big deal. I'm assuming, I mean, like, I see that a lot from developers in India, just like especially if English wasn't your primary language and they're still learning. That's understandable. And I think just wherever you're applying, I think the communication needs to be there. You need to be able to understand each other, and that's essentially it. So if he's applying for positions in his area, I don't know if English is a primary language in that area. His English is actually pretty good. I would definitely fix those typos, but yeah, it depends on where you're applying to too. All right, let's check out mobile. You have your navigation. View source. That almost makes me feel like view source of this page. I would call it just like GitHub, if that's a social link you're linking to. Yeah, it's just your GitHub. I just call it GitHub. Works. You could probably include this all on one page. Why do you need a navigation? I don't think you do. This is too simple. Is it your way to showcase your animations, or because you kind of did that here? Flat. Spotify clone. What? Why even include this image? I would just include this. What? Why just include like a logo? You need to think about like what's, I don't know, what's relevant. I don't think you need to include much when you say Spotify clone. I think most people know what Spotify is, or they can look it up. But just including the logo, that doesn't really give me any other information about your project. Yeah, this picture's pretty good. Looks like there's unnecessary spacing between each word. A little too much. Harder to read text here. You're starting to shrink the font size, it looks like. I would probably increase the size of that. Yeah. Typos can be a sign of a lack of attention to detail, which is a key developer skill. That's a good point. Yeah, Cheddar. And the thing is, so if English isn't your primary language and you're applying to an office where English is the primary language, you should get someone that is more comfortable with English to proofread your content. There are tools that can easily do it for you. I think that's incredibly important, and a lot of people that aren't native speakers of English, they drop the ball on if they're applying to mainly English positions. So again, it depends where you're applying. You're trying English, you should probably try to get it right. So have someone that's more comfortable with English proofread. I think that's actually good advice, because it can it's not necessarily that it shows. So when it comes to language like that, when English isn't your primary, it's not that it demonstrates that you have a lack of attention to detail. But like if you're English speaking and you have typos, yes. But I think people can be a little bit more understanding if you're not. But it can definitely speak volumes about you if you take that extra step to get it proofread by someone that is more comfortable with it, or you bring in a tool to help you do that. I actually have Grammarly. Sometimes I just type stuff out so quickly, and I don't want to stop to proofread, so I depend on a tool to do it. You should obviously focus on trying to provide proper grammar and spelling while you type things out. But I'm telling you, like Grammarly, it's my proofreading tool. Everyone should have a proofreading tool, 100%, and I love it. Maybe consider that as your tool while you kind of scan some of this stuff. But yeah, going the extra step to get this proofread can help. He has 3 projects on there, all clones. I don't think this guy's actually going to submit this to a company. Doesn't speak well of him. Is the third one a clone? Did I? Hold on. My portfolio. I don't think this is a clone. I think this is his own app. Yeah, these clone websites as a professional developer feel weird to include, but if this is your own app, this is what I would double down on and continue building your next one. Or continue building this one if you haven't finished it out. Looking forward to the mock interviews. Awesome. Yeah, we'll have them coming up in the next few weeks. Yeah, it's we're gonna be doing Fang level mock interviews. I'm gonna give you a heads up right now. There were 2 problems, and I did 2 mock interviews so far, and neither person got through the first problem. So it was definitely fun to watch and enjoyable, but I think we're gonna try to do a third one with someone a little bit more advanced that can get through to the second problem. It should be fun though. I think I want to do more mock interviews. They're a lot of fun. And again, shout out to Formation for providing the interviewer too. I think it's more of a lack of scrutiny in your process. It's like non-technical bugs, maybe. You guys might be right about that, and maybe I'm being too lenient towards the language, because that's important. Like if you have an English app, you're probably applying to a mainly English audience, or office, etc., and that stuff matters. I think that's good advice. All right, let's just check the resources. Let's clear it out. All right. Size. Quick load, dog. Okay. I mean, GLB. What's GLB? What is a GLB extension? 3D file format that's used in virtual reality, augmented reality. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know how large or small this is supposed to be. Analytics. Okay, does it really need to be this big? Actually, I think it does, right? No, you cap it. No. You got to trim your images. So another thing that front-end developers, or just developers in general, should focus on is if you aren't using the full resolution of your image and you have a max width to it, like this person has, I would definitely trim that image and then toss it in tiny PNG. That's what I would do. Can even be generous in a desktop app. Yeah. Everything else, man. It's a lot of resources, with the dog taking up at least half. I don't know, this feels like a kind of a big website for what it's delivering. But yeah, I don't see any like huge red flags, except, you know, your images, make sure that you shrink them down to the max resolution that you need. And then toss them in like tiny PNG or tiny JPG. That's what I would do. That's it. Cool. Thanks for the submission. If you guys have any other extra feedback, feel free to leave it. But I think you guys had a pretty good gut feeling feedback. I don't know why that was so difficult to say. Let's close all the... I have so many tabs. Hold on. It bugs the hell out of me that I have so many tabs sometimes. All right. Cool. So that's that one. Let's go ahead and do a virus scan for the next one, and we will jump into it. I like his simplistic styling too. I do like the links. I mean, it's interesting that he chose pink for these links, where like kind of his call to action almost seems like it'd be more relevant. Like pink is probably going to catch your attention more than teal. This almost seems like this should be pink and all of these should be teal. I don't know if I would separate based on colors your social links, and like this is essentially a social link. Why do you have different colors here? Actually, yeah, it's a good point. So I would say pink is a little bit of a stronger call to action that you might consider for what you want employers to do. It's all right. We ready to do this? I just got some apple cinnamon black tea. Oh, I can't wait for that to cool down. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. That's right, Nolan. All right, let's do this. Mock stocks. Trading platform for everyone. Start off with 100. Cool. Okay. Start off with 100K in imaginary currency to see how you perform in the markets. Prices are randomly generated and are not reflective of real world stock performance. Oh, shoot. I literally was about to say I might actually use this. Seriously? So I am someone that I don't invest in stocks because I don't know much about them in terms of I don't have enough confidence that I could I mean I have stocks but it's more like long-term, like several year-long investments where eventually it's going to pay off. I would be fascinated to use a tool that essentially does pull in real market data and allows you to use fake money for it. That application alone is fantastic, but what you can do, or that application alone would be really, really helpful. But I guess how this could be helpful is you could probably, like, if it matched patterns, I don't know, how useful is this? Correct me if I'm wrong. So for people that might be more interested in stocks than me, I feel like this app, you literally could put a pricing model around it, build extra revenue if you just pulled in the data from the real world market. Would that not be a really useful tool? And I'm not saying there aren't tools like that out there, but being able to use imaginary money just to see how you did that, like, and pulling in that API data, first of all, like, then pulling in that API data, that's it's kind of a big deal. You're gonna have a lot of data to deal with. How do you deal with that data? You could choose like 100 companies. It doesn't even have to be like every company. Just choose 100 companies and you can limit your data that way. But like, how do you deal with that large set of data? That would be a really, really interesting project. But anyways, we'll dive into this one. That BRB screen reminds me of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Oh, that was such a good game. That's such a good game. Yeah, it does have that feel to it. Do you know about crypto? How much? I mean, I've been digging into it more and more, but I don't know enough to give people crypto advice. All right. There are several trading algos. Charles Schwab has one that does all the trading for you depending on your risk tolerance. So I understand that there are... When you say trading algos, what do you mean? Does all the trading for you depending on your... So you're essentially saying there's automated trading algos. Then why doesn't everyone just use that? Could you not... I know tools exist. I feel like there are tools that exist that will pull in data and allow you to use fake money to essentially test the waters to see if you can discover patterns, right? Should everyone just trust the algorithm they've come up with? First of all, that Vic, what you're saying is probably a tool I would find really useful. But I also think it's really interesting if you do want to do this full time. It definitely feels, especially like short-term trading, it definitely feels like you could build up the skill through an app that would actually not really have that algo for you, but teach you. Like if you built an application that taught you patterns to look for based on the stocks, and it's very informative, man, this literally could be an educational tool that would make people a real income to go off of, an exceptional income potentially down the road as they continue getting better with this. Like that kind of application, you could put a pretty high price on to essentially teach people how to do that. Now, again, this is probably out of scope for this project, right? But I'm I'm just thinking of where this application could go, and there's definitely possibilities to build quite a bit of revenue off of this application if Jackie was ever interested. You need a minimum of 5K. Oh, for Schwab to let you use that algo. Interesting. I'm actually gonna just plot that down. This is useful information. Thank you. There certainly will be trade-offs. I use it myself, but like I said, it depends on your risk tolerance. Like I had it with a high risk tolerance, and on the past week, I'm down 10%. My wife is one with a low risk tolerance, and her account is up like 9% in the last year. Yeah, that's it. I can see myself in the next 5 years diving into that. I really could. I'm glad you recommended that. Thank you. Okay, cool. So what's the use of this? Actually, yeah, start off with 100K in imaginary currency to see how you perform. The market's prices are randomly generated, are not reflective. So what is the use case then? Actually, that's a good question. Like, why would I even use this? Real-time quotes, see the latest price changes in the markets, investments with the power of web stocks, choose from a collection of some of the biggest. It's a cool project. I would start thinking about like how to make this more useful. I really would dig into that, an API that could pull in that information. Industry Titans, choose from a collection of some of the biggest names in the industry, performance insights, see how your portfolio is performing in real time with both numeric and visual feedback. Okay, so a basic graph analytics. Got it. Is this... Okay. It's not actually pulling real... Is it pulling real data? Like a history of data? Maybe it is. If this is pulling a history of data based on your randomly generated numbers, this is pretty impressive. If this is just a random GIF and I'm not really seeing the pattern yet, actually, I think I'm starting to see the pattern. I think this is just a GIF that is not influenced by... I don't even think you would need to pull in real data to showcase this. I don't even know if that'd be worth it. I think that GIF with the repeating pattern is just fine. Details by... Okay, details. It's a pretty clean website. It is. Ticker, IPO, histories, finance, exchange, back to markets. Okay. How did I get... Oh, Toyota. Beyond. Okay. Facebook. How many do you have? Actually, TF. Okay, so you grab Netflix. So interesting. You're searching for essentially every character, every potential pattern. It's kind of cool. Is this like a historical representation? Okay, so if this is a historical representation and this was generated based on that canvas. Ooh, this might be. You're using canvas for this. By the way, I wanted to share this. I might I'm heavily considering doing code reviews and offering that as a paid service for because I've been getting a lot of requests for it. It would have to be with the JavaScript stack, so it'd be CSS and JavaScript, but I think I want to start diving into code reviews. They're a lot of fun. I would charge more for them, but I want to like really dive into the implementations of how you guys do this kind of stuff. I kind of miss them. I used to do them all the time. A lot of people don't know that, but I did code reviews all the time. A lot of people wanted me to do it for React. Got a little boring with React, but I still do enjoy it. I just, so many requests for React. Cool. I mean, it's, yeah, clean, quick animations. Animation speed is really fast, even for hover. Guide. Ooh. Oh, okay, so it's not a guide of how to learn about stocks, it's a guide of how to use this website. Don, I would take a course, maybe on Udemy or something. Thought I've not gone into that. Though I've not gone into that. Got it. I would, so essentially what I'm finding out about crypto, I just watch YouTube videos. I have a good feeling of what cryptocurrency is. It's just, I don't have a lot of confidence necessarily of, risk assessment for certain types of investments. And I feel like I'm slowly learning more about, just even the politics around cryptocurrency. And I think even like our current administration is trying to create some regulation around it. What does that regulation look like? It's more of a doubt that I should invest in cryptocurrency at right now. Like, I feel like the investment period was probably a long time ago. I don't know. I'm fuzzy on it. Like, don't listen to my advice on cryptocurrency in general, but I feel like I still have a lot to learn. I just don't know if I want to take like a whole course for it, because I'm a big believer in investing in what you know. That's why I used extra money to invest in stocks just because I want to play around. I did that when I was a software engineer in Chicago. And I think I only put like 200 extra since then. I think I only have like 700 in stocks right now. It's not a lot. I should have put it in Twitter. I should have dumped a lot of money in Twitter. I actually didn't think the buyout was going to go through, but here nor there. But I'm a big believer in like investing in education and being able to build up my business, and investing in building up my business, because I have a good feel for how to make money and revenue as a content creator. I can already tell you I'm making a lot of bad decisions. But they're like authentic decisions. They're authentically bad, and they're what I want to be doing and how I want to be helping people. But I invest in essentially what I know. I really don't like dabbling in stuff I don't. All right, chat is flowing. Let me catch up. Look at the conversation that you sparked, Jackie. Real-time data. So I don't think it's real-time data. I think it's historical data. That's what I'm assuming it is, Crafted. But you're saying real-time data wouldn't rise and fall that quickly, and I agree. There's a guest account login if you like... oh, Jackie's here. What's up? There's a guest account login if you like the top right. There's a sub-menu drop-down click. Where's the guest account login? Do you... We're logging with guests. Oh, nice. Thank you. We'll dive into that. Looks pretty smooth. Hello, Code Thing. It does. It definitely does. The app design looks pretty solid. Tesla's on an excellent buy range right now. Is it? Actually. What did Elon... what was the promise? It was 54, right? What is... Like, Twitter has to be around 54 right now. There's no way it's lower than that. There's no way it's lower than that. Maybe it is. I don't know. What do I think of Elon Musk buying Twitter for 44 billion? Twitter literally couldn't get worse than it already was. It was such a garbage dump. I'm a big fan. So I think people think he's going to unleash the floodgates and just unban everyone. I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think he's going to do it. He is unbanning people that had a ban for a political bias, but like, I think and he better deliver on this promise. This is the only reason why I'm really open to the buy, is he made a promise to open source the algorithms, and essentially that's going to potentially allow people to build tools to kind of shift that algorithm so that they can get the content that they want, right? And I think if he creates more transparency, I didn't look at his new terms of service, but if he creates more transparency in the bans, I think sometimes like both on the left and the right, both sides assume that they're treated unfairly. And the big problem with big tech is that they're not transparent with their moderation policies or how they enforce them. They say that they're clear, but like you look at all the ban reasons and there's nothing clear about a lot of the moderation decisions being made. And then even a tool got leaked of like shadow banning. Like Twitter had a tool leaked of where they could shadow ban people. Like there's so much corrupt BS that goes along with Twitter, and we all know like it's across multiple platforms, but I just think like Twitter couldn't be any worse. I'm looking forward to seeing what he actually does with it and what he follows through with it. I'm in favor of the buyout 100%, and I could be wrong. It could get much worse. I don't think it's going to. I don't think he did it for it wasn't a profit move. He truly believes in free speech. We'll see how much that influences some of his decisions. But that's my opinion about it. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Twitter couldn't get any worse. That's how I see it. Yeah, not financial advice, Vic, for sure. None of this is financial advice in terms of stocks. We can still talk about it. Hi, Don. My name is pronounced Keon. Watching live while I work from home. Well, welcome, Keon. You say not financial advice, then you give financial advice. I'm looking forward to Twitter going private, though. 100%. I messaged you on LinkedIn. Thanks for responding. Really appreciate time. My question is, where do you draw the line between basic knowledge of HTML and CSS before moving on to JavaScript? Let's save the questions for afterwards. I actually want to dive into this. And if we do have time, we'll be able to get to it. But if we don't have time for your question, we do Friday streams. That's where it's like more open-ended. I dive into a lot of web dev questions there. All right, so let's dive in. Guest account, sure, try with guest. That's pretty cool. I like that. So essentially it's just a project. I wish I had that much money. Cool. Browse markets, get started. It shouldn't, so I'm already logged in. Why am I being sent back to the login? That shouldn't even be an option. You essentially put me back on the landing page. Get rid of this button. If I'm logged in already. Bye. Manulife financial stock. Yo, you're expensive. I'm gonna buy you. I trust it. Info. That is really hard to see. That's a card. I would maybe experiment with using white as a background there. What's this? What just happened? What? No, I can't even click the back button. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to investments. I think this was it. Manulife. Was there not an info button here? Like, what happened? Was that not the stock? That's kind of a jarring experience. I tried clicking back to... So sometimes when you get these funnels of like, you click this, you click this, you click this, and then you store your current state in state. Because I think this was maybe built with React. I have no idea, actually. But like with React, if you store a lot of your funnels in state, the back button typically doesn't work unless you use kind of a URL-based step-by-step guide. And that's where I think this just broke it. Because I don't think you were doing that. And now I lost my info button. It seemed important. I tried clicking on it. It had like an info icon. Typically that will indicate like I'll be able to get... I mean, so you were essentially saying this is a piece of information that is relevant to you. I tried clicking on it. Nothing. I forgot what happened. Actually, I did forget what happened. Can we see that info card again? Let me buy more stocks. Okay, looks like you just updated this investment. Your funds may not be updated away. You mean right away? I think you mean right away. Check the spelling on that. Click here to refresh the funding amount in the top bar. Oh, that's what happens. Click here to refresh it. Okay. Why does that button feel like it doesn't clearly define what's going to happen with it? I think when you describe... So here's the thing. you might consider a button to say, I don't know how you would word it, like refresh or update your total amount. Then you have an info, and maybe if I hover over that info, it says stocks might not present, like until you do, stocks might not be up to date. Your current balance might not be up to date or something like that. I feel like that's kind of a weird info thing. Can you create a financial advice channel and dating advice channel? Yep, that's what I'm turning this channel into, Nolan. Given 100K stock market and it's gone. If I invested 100K, it'd be gone. Thanks for your confidence. Maybe that's not what you mean. The dark theme is great, but I'd consider a lighter theme also, and a button to switch. With a website like this, why? I feel like this is getting updated too frequently. It's almost overwhelming. Is this what you would currently see with different stock apps? Like market doesn't update this quickly, right? If I'm wrong about that, then ignore this. But if I'm right about this, like this is too much happening too quickly. That's not really relevant information if you're trying to replicate the experience. Hey, Mickey. As you told me, I made 3 to 4 projects on my own through HTML and CSS, and I felt comfortable, so I moved towards JS. Now I'm at DOM. Actually, in JS, I'm having some confusion looping through array and logic building. Do you have any tips what to do? We'll save like web dev questions for the end if we have time. I honestly don't think we're gonna have time, but Friday is probably the time to ask that question. What are Q&As? I have no idea. What are Q&As? Top bar, there's a light theme. Yeah, there is. Oh my god, no. Bring me back, thank you. It's a South Park joke. Ignore it if you don't know what I'm talking about. Given 100K and it's gone. I feel like I have that scene in my mind. I don't have the words. So first of all, I'm a huge fan of watching reaction videos to both South Park and Family Guy. I don't watch the actual shows anymore. I watch reactions to the shows. And I feel like I do remember that scene. I would just have to rewatch it. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I'd have to rewatch that scene. Let's see. I don't know what else to stack. Okay. Why is this relevant? It's not, whoops. So you have to think about your user, right? This could be displayed in your resume and it can be displayed on your portfolio. This is irrelevant to the actual user right now. Info, guide careers, projects, Pathfinder, mock stocks. It looks like, yeah, none of this should be on here, right? It's just this. You kind of like break away from the immersion that this is an actual project that people can use. And I feel like this is a pretty impressive project. I do. I mean, the guest account is a nice addition, but I don't know if you want this information here or not. Wait, didn't I sell all? Why, what's going on? Buy, sell shares? Okay, so Apple, sell all. You have 3. So what I would do is like have a little card maybe pop up on the right saying sold successfully, because I feel like you're just jumping people to new pages without any sort of validation that the action that they took was fulfilled, or it was not fulfilled, right? Shop. I think we actually saw a bug because we had only 4. Nope. No, we had. Yeah, we only had 4, and then we dropped 2. We have 3. Am I right about that? Purchase hash. Maybe that's relevant. Be careful about this is kind of jarring when you have the number of digits that will start pushing and pulling other content on the page. You don't want that to be jarring. Dedicate a certain real estate to accommodate this. You don't want it to push the rest of your content. Trend chart. Yeah, again, this is moving too fast. This just doesn't feel realistic. And I think a trend chart, wouldn't that be more realistic to have like a longer historical trend? How is this helpful? This just looks pretty. It doesn't really seem like it'd be helpful in any way. This is a really interesting app, and it almost feels like a game. I would start thinking about this application like it is a game. Is there anything else? I want investments. I want to sell a specific investment. Buy, actually, so details. Okay, that goes to that page. Update. Cool. So, am I buying or selling here? You do not give me the choice? You didn't give me the choice. So now I have 10 shares. Buy, sell more? Hello? So, I mean, I can sell 10 shares. How do I sell? I can't. I have to sell all of them. And then my stocks almost be like, maybe I'm trying to sell quickly when I see a certain trend. And I don't know. I only want to, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to sell all my stocks, but that trend is going to change quickly after even. So the changes are happening so quickly. I feel like there are several changes that can happen from me selling all 10 and then going back and trying to find it again, search for it, buy it. And then several actions have happened already where I just want to sell 5 of them. You're not really giving me the choice to sell a limited number. I'm actually disappointed that I missed that South Park joke. I'm disappointed in myself. You like Family Guy more than South Park? Do you? I used to hate South Park. I just love how non-politically correct it is. But I'm a big fan of both because both Family Guy and South Park just trash everyone. It literally, they truly believe in equality and just, they go after everyone. And I think that's where you can start not taking things so seriously, is when, everything becomes a joke. And it kind of teaches people not to be so serious about it. But like South Park, man, they go hard. Man, they go hard. I do appreciate some of the jokes that you just can't say anymore. And they still keep going with it. I don't know how they're still on air, but I love them. Looks like you sold an investment. Your funds may not be updated right away. Click here to refresh. Okay. Yeah, that's my feedback with it. I'll check out mobile. Top right has more stuff. Activity logs, log in. Transaction history. Cool. So here's the thing with activity logs. Usually you're going to provide an IP, and you could even provide like a map, a location service based on IP based on where that login took place. That's going to be relevant for activity logs. Now, when it might be jarring because this is just an example project where an employer looks at the activity logs and like, oh, you're tracking my IP? Oh, I don't know how much I like that. So I don't think I would include the IP, but typically in activity logs, you would have that in there. Insights, beta. Okay. It's hard to see that beta icon. Why is this highlighted blue? Because okay. I would actually make this brighter initially. And then what you can do is turn this, like when you select it, you can turn this white, right? The background color will become white. And then you could change the text color. That's usually what you can do to compensate for that highlight color when you do click on a link. General. Oh my god. Yeah, I like it's so hard adjusting from a dark theme to a light theme. account, update name. I'm not gonna delete account and do that to you. But you should, like, this delete button, should we test it? All right, tell me. Can we test this? Like, this delete button should be disabled for the guest account, right? You disabled it, right? Like, I would just get rid of this. Or archive. Usually, yeah, test it, okay. Action cannot be undone. Not allowed to modify guest, okay. Good, 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 good. I love it. Did that shift all of the content? I think it did. Again, be careful about that. And there shouldn't be 2 error messages here. There's no reason for that. Home. All right. Let's go mobile. Let's check it out. Buttons are a little bit small. What's the primary button? Right, browse markets, get. So you should have a primary and a secondary button. You should understand which is more important for a new guest to press and someone that's logged out to press. And it looks like you don't understand that just yet. But that, you know, that takes understanding your user who would use this application. Like, in itself, this application is a really interesting application to showcase. It is, and I think it's a pretty strong personal project. And I'm trying to, like, tell you stuff that'll really bump it up even more. Yeah. Let's log in. You know what I would do? I think it's kind of weird to just have this like random icon here in the button. I wonder if I would strip this and just have this be a button, log in with guest account. Right? That's your demo account. And a lot of websites do have those demo accounts. That's what I would do. When you log in, typically you'll want to close out the navigation. There's no reason to keep it open at that point. You might even consider when they log in going directly to the dashboard. Is this relevant? Probably not. Today's featured picks. You could have today's featured picks in your dashboard. Essentially, you probably want to log them into this. Maybe. I don't know if that landing page is as relevant at that point. Oops, invalid transaction. I don't... Okay, error? What just happened with that? E. Okay. Okay, cool. My shares. Less than or equal to 100? Well, what happens... you know what? There's some spacing issues. You have some inconsistent spacing with your cards. I mean, there's some design work that you can do with this, but I'm actually interested in trying to break this. Okay, buy shares. Not enough. Okay, you do have an error with not enough funds. That's fun. Well, that's essentially what I was trying to do. Never mind, we can go back to mobile. Let's see. Text is a little bit small. Maybe, I don't know. It's not bad. Maybe it's the line spacing that's bugging me. It's not enough. This is, so, you know, there's no reason to have scrolling like this. I would think of a layout that would allow you to have these investments displayed all on one page without having to scroll horizontally, what you might consider doing. And so this is a tricky thing with tables specifically. I think one way I solve this is having cards for each investment. Right? So MFC will be separated into a card, HD will be separated into a card, and then you can have those details displayed vertically. I don't think it's a good idea to have you want to really minimize the horizontal scroll bars on mobile. I think that's it. Log out. Register. If I'm registering, oh, log in, wait, which is log in register? What just happened? Hold on, I'm lost. Okay, I didn't mean to click that. These buttons are kind of small on mobile to be able to click with your thumb. You might consider enlarging them. Log in, register. So, oh, register is down here. Gotcha, it was because this navigation appeared. Okay. Register. Okay, HTML5 validation for everything. Cool, great. Welcome back, Don. Welcome back. You might even consider a brand new message once they register. A welcome back just kind of feels like a templated message. You can go an extra step there. All right, log out. Cool. I think that's it. You can make the stock names themselves as links to take you to their web page and just get rid of the details button. You can make the stock names themselves. Wait, what? You can make the stock names themselves as links to take you to their web page. Why would you do that? Because these details don't match up. And I think the algorithm that's influencing the changes wouldn't, taking them to like real, are you talking about like I'd actually go to Microsoft or Uber for the details and that would provide information? I think that could potentially be jarring, and I would try to integrate that in with API data. The mobile version. I can't even scroll. What? Refresh? I have to... Yo. Can't scroll. It's broken. Back to markets, buy. Let's go back. So you make the stock names themselves as links to take you to the web page and just get rid of the details button. I get what you're saying. So I think Jackie does both, and I'm a fan of that because it's not immediately apparent, especially on mobile, that clicking this will take you to the details page. And so it's not a horrible thing to have a default action of when you click on the image here, it'll take you to the same thing that a button will take you to, because you don't really know the action the user will take. And I think the user could take both actions and both seem reasonable. Oh, the table of your investments. The stock names themselves as links to take you to the web page and just get rid of the details button. Gotcha. Oh, here. Yes. And I think what I said also applies, but actually, yes. And it already does. Maybe you do get rid of the details button. Maybe that is, yeah. It's pretty good advice. That's something you could essentially do like a A/B test for. All right, that's it. Pretty cool app to explore. Glad we got to explore it. Hopefully that was helpful, Jackie. I appreciate you submitting it. All right. We are at 3 already. I figured we would be. So, some news. Essentially, I kind of shared I'm at crunch time with trying to push out content. I'm going to be doubling content in terms of like podcasts. I'm going to get rid of our Wednesday live streams. I think I have to update the banner too. So we're no longer going to be doing scheduled live streams on Wednesday. What I want to start doing is more live streams on different platforms, and I think I'm going to dedicate Fridays to doing live streams. So we'll have our normal 1:30 Central Time. It'll probably be a live Q&A. If I do a specific topic stream, portfolio review, etc., I'll just randomly schedule it throughout the week. So Fridays are our only live stream now, but hopefully I can start pushing out double the amount of podcast episodes. I think I want to start focusing more on career advice. I'm probably going to take a break from reviews. I think that's everything. But hopefully you should see more content by me eliminating Wednesdays. Because I pretty much have this all planned out for the next 2 months, May and June. And it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot to do. But we'll get it done. And we'll push out more content doing it. I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate that, Nolan. I do appreciate that. Thank you. So, like usual, everyone that does support me on Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, thank you so much. I do appreciate your support. And again, if you are interested in supporting, you get early release access to the podcast episodes. Now we're going to try to double the content. You should see that change within the next few weeks. But we also do like a live private Q&A on Discord where you're welcome to just come in, ask questions. And sometimes we have a casual chat, a little bit more casual than this live stream, but hopefully this helps. First time caught this live. That's awesome, Cameron. Glad you can make it. Your imposter syndrome video might be my favorite one you have made so far. I love it. That's awesome, Nickel. I'm surprised it didn't do better. I feel like it's because I started it off with that 5-year-old depiction of us trying to defeat the imposter syndrome monster. And I feel like I thought it would be so stupid that people would click on it. People did not click on it. So I changed the thumbnail. Hopefully it picks up traction. We will see. But I had fun doing that. I'm sad you're canceling your Monday and Wednesday lives. I don't have Monday lives. So I'm not canceling that. Wednesday lives, yeah, but we'll be live on Friday. We'll do more live streams, but I have a big content push coming out. I'm going to level with you. I'm trying to grow the channel. I have to grow the channel. I have 2 months to continue doing this, or I'm going back to a developer position, which is fine. It's not ideal, but I have to almost triple the content that I push out in order to gain the revenue enough to continue doing this full time. I have 2 months left. So that's why I'm doing it. And once I do reach that, we could pull it back a bit and we could start doing more live streams because I actually really enjoy the live streams. Unfortunately, they don't bring in new subscribers, and I have to focus on growth heavily. That's where I'm at with it. So anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here with the last live Wednesday live stream for a while. I will see you on Friday. Good luck with all of your projects and happy coding. Take care.